Hi everyone, just battling a Team Rocket right here to get us started and letting people join in. See if there's any interest in any leagues in particular, and then we'll jump into the battle league and see what we can do. I think my elo is around 2200 right now. Of course, you know, I have the hopes and dream of trying to get to Legends, but don't know if it's going to happen this season. But maybe we can make it better. I'll try and do a nice run tonight. Let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and start with Ultra League, and then if there's any league that you want to see us play in particular, let me know in the comments, and I'll keep an eye there. But I have my Umbreon as my best buddy right now, so I might as well take advantage of that boosted on my perfect Umbreon there. This is not great lead for us, so we're going to just let it build, and then we're going to try and catch on our Oxygen. So I'm probably going to throw a Moonblast here, but we can tank that pretty easily. It might even just be a Grass Knot. We'll see if they, yeah, that's fine. That was a risk that we had to take, otherwise our Toxicroak was a dead man walking. But we'll be able to come back in with our Toxicroak here in a second and get hopefully rid of this Poliwrath, but they'll come back in with that Cresselia, and we'll have our Umbreon in the back. And we're going to be really putting our hopes in that Umbreon to hopefully close the game for us and see what else they have in their back to hopefully be weak to that. This Poliwrath can't do a ton to us. We resist its fast move, we resist both of its charged moves, but it's pretty high in attack, so it does do some pretty good damage to us, and they tried to bait us there. We really don't want our Umbreon to see this Poliwrath, so we're hopefully going to say goodbye to it in a second. Cool, and then we know they're coming back in with their start building there. This game just took a really good turn for us because now they're double weak to Umbreon with Cresselia and Giratina here. And the thing about Umbreon is it's super tanky. It can take just about everything that these two can throw at it, and we have a double shield advantage here. So I feel pretty good about our chances here. We aren't going to shield anything that this Giratina throws at us, and that's because, you know, it's just neutral damage and they're not very strong hits. And we want to make sure we save our shields for the Moon Blasts that are going to be coming from that Cresselia. We'll throw our fast move here and see if we can just get onto the Cresselia. At some point too, you know, we could get really fancy here and catch a move on our Toxicroak, but that would just be salt in the wood for this. So here, they're probably going to even try and bait us with either a Grass Knot or something like that, but yeah, man, they do go full Moonblast even if we're going to shield them. So a lot of wasted energy for them. It's fine by us. And they kind of have no choice but to shield at this point. Okay, they're just going to ride it out. Same deal. I mean, they could bait, they should bait at this point, but yeah, I mean, we have two shields, we're gonna just use them. Wow, yeah, they're going straight Moonblast. That's really funny. Let's throw this foul play. And I mean, just for the fun of it, I'm gonna try and catch on our Toxicroak here, see if we can time it right. Oh, I missed it by a second. That's fine. It's not gonna KO us. It's gonna take two to do that. And we should just be able to farm that. Cool. So like I said, that was a nice one. We pulled that one off. It didn't look great for us when they brought that Poliwrath out, but we were lucky enough to have good alignment and have saved that Umbreon for us in the back. And yes, my elo is at 2233, so it's funny. Nice little mirroring of the numbers there. Let's see what we get in the next match. It'll be funny here what you'll see happen with the Toxicroak, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about running the Toxicroak is that people think that you're running counter on it, and a lot of times I'll have people that are running Steel Pokemon and they'll switch out, or even Celio Revolution. One of the Seals, the Ice Pokemon, and they'll usually jump out thinking that we're running counter, and they'll usually swap in something that is equally weak to poison, and then they'll get a nice surprise. So it serves as a nice little trap. And this is a good example here too, where they can't do much to us, and we have a really powerful charge move that does a ton of damage to them. So we let that first charge move come through. They had to shield that by bomb, otherwise they would have been in some bad shape. We should go. Yeah, they're gonna let that one go through. We're gonna shield this one, just because one of the things that you really want to try to control is the alignment. You don't want to lose your switch advantage. So we should get to our Mud Bomb and get another move, and then they probably aren't gonna shield this unless they're trying to fight for alignment. If they try and fight for alignment, then I won't fight them at that point, and rather than shield advantage. Okay, we just welcome back. Ooh, okay, this is not great that they have a Cavalion here, because we're gonna be double weak to that back. That was a tough call. I wanted to let that go through. I mean, we have to bring in our obstacle. We have to kind of just go head on this. We kept that shield so that we could shield here. One Sacred Sword from Cavalion on Obstagoon is pretty much deadly. So we wanted to save that. We're going to have to try and catch on our Umbreon here to try and just preserve our Obstagoon for the late game. So let's go. So we need that Obstagoon alive because we're hoping that they swap out here, and then we'll be able to come back in. Yeah, okay, they go there. Yeah. So this is a pretty even match. This is going to be cool. This is going to be really close. And I feel bad for all of you. This is going to be a long game now because these two Umbreons fighting each other, it's going to take a long time. They're both super tanky. They both don't deal a lot of damage to each other. So what's going to end up happening here is that our switch timer is going to work out. We're going to bring our we're going to bring our Obstagoon in. We're going to try and build some charged energy so that we can throw it at their Cavalion. They actually made a bad move swapping to their own Umbreon here because our switch clock is a little bit ahead. We're going to be able to build some energy, and what I'm going to try and do here is as soon as my Obstagoon is up, I need to get into it. Yeah. And this, the Umbreon can't really do much damage to Obstagoon either because Dark on Dark is neutral, or doesn't even do neutral because resisted. And they're going to come back in with their Cavalion here in a second. I need to go ahead and catch that, but we're going to throw this charged attack. They might be trying to take us down with their Umbreon here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. We need our charge move to go through. Okay, our charge move, we won the... I mean, I don't think we triggered a CMP tie there, but we had a charge move. And we're going to KO each other. Yeah. And our Umbreon has energy stored. And one thing to note about our two Umbreons, both of them are actually perfect in IVs, but mine is best buddy boosted. So you'll see that my CP is 2445, its is 22 or 2416, and that's because we have an active best buddy right now and they don't. So I think we will edge this out by like a sliver. Yeah, we edged that out by a sliver, and that's because of our extra boosted buddy there. And yeah, we just got really lucky there. That was a nail biter. That was a really close game. That one really easily could have gone the other way. So far 2-0 our sets here live tonight, so it's exciting and good. And yeah, the last game was a really close, fun one. The first game was actually a close one too. We really just squeaked by on both of them. We actually came back from what I would say from behind on both sets, on both battles there. So there's a good example of they probably thought that we were running counter. And that was a bad swap by them actually, because they swapped into Greninja, which has a lot of weaknesses, right? We could have had a grass in the back, we could have had a fighter in the back, and as soon as they open that door for us, boom, here we come in with our Oxygoon, and we can do some really lethal damage here. Now Greninja, as I'm sure you know from the recent community day, it got 2 special moves, right? It got Water Shuriken, which generates a ton of energy, and then it also got Hydro Cannon. What you're seeing here is very interesting. They're actually running Surf on their Greninja here, which is interesting because that's not the quote-unquote preferred move, because it doesn't do as much damage. It only does 65 hit points worth of damage, as opposed to Water Cannon, which does 90, and only takes just ever so slightly more time to charge to. With as spammy as Greninja is, but they do get to that Surf, you know, 1 move faster than Hydro Cannon, so they can dish out even more moves, but not do as much damage. So that was an all-around bad move by our opponent here to swap to Greninja without its legacy move of Hydro Cannon. And here's the deal, they're just swapping back and forth, and just really for us. They went to their swapper, which was a good play against our Toxic Growth, but because we had our switch timer opened up, we could swap out to something again that we have. So this one, I'm feeling pretty good about our odds. We have both of our shields, they have both of their shields, but both matchups that we have going on here are positive for us. Our Umbreon does win this matchup against the Swamper, and then our Toxicroak does win the matchup against the Bug. So we're gonna go ahead and shield this and just, you know, protect ourselves. They're probably throwing a Hydro Cannon here, which wouldn't have done a ton of damage to us, but you know, at this point, it's all good. This is going to be interesting. They might have Earthquake. We're going to go ahead and then shield it. That's fine. We have plenty of energy here, and we have plenty of the ability to win this still. We didn't need to shield both of those. It's just, you know, for the fun of it, really. I'm expecting them to swap out again here. Yeah, they swap. We come in with our Toxic Growth. I got lucky there that it didn't make me throw that foul play, because I did hit that. That I was able to make them pick it up. We're gonna just farm this down now and go into the matchup with the Swampert with some loaded energy, and we'll throw a Mud Bomb at it, force their shield, and then yeah, we'll see. We might not survive enough to throw 2 moves here, but we should force their shield. Had I have known that we were gonna leave that matchup with such low health, I would have thrown that Dynamic Punch, but. We have a loaded move on our Umbreon here, so we're going to go ahead and throw that, and that's going to be a GG. Good game for our opponent. Cool, so that's 3-0 on this live set, so we're doing pretty good tonight. We got a nice rhythm here. We'll see if this continues. After this set of 5, our elo is going to climb a bit, and of course we're going to get into some harder matchups. And with that win, we do unlock a Pokemon encounter. Let's see what we got. We got the Celio Walrein. Walrein is what this evolves into. That's what I was talking about earlier. When I was talking about how sometimes people will have a Walrein up against our Toxicroak. They'll panic swap thinking that we're running counter and we're running Acid or Poison Jab instead, and they'll swap in a Fairy type. Thinking that, hey, yeah, it's a poison Pokemon, but it's running counter, it's not going to do anything to my Fairy, and they'll get wildly surprised by the fact that we'll have a poison. So let's jump out here, let's just check it and see what's going on in the wild. We need a lot more Stardust, so we're gonna catch that Shroomish. Let's see if there's anything else. Trico is a really cool shiny, let's see if we find that shiny. Nothing. Let's see if there's any cool raids going on nearby. Yeah, nothing too cool. I don't think I've gotten a shiny Whismur ever yet, so let's check that. Alright, cool. Let's jump back into it. Back to Ultra League. Let's see if we can go 5-0. That'd be a nice start to the night. Okay, cool. This is a nice starting matchup. We'll see if they're probably going to sit in and see if they want to counter. And like I said, we're running closing gaps, so we're doing super quick damage here. So we'll see. This is also a scary matchup for us, though, too, because we obviously don't want to swap out of this favorable matchup, but sometimes, you know, typically people run A, B, B teams, so we don't know if this represents the A, meaning it's the odd Pokemon out, it's the only fairy that they've got, or if this represents, you know, a double, one of their B, you know, maybe they have 2 fairies. If they have a second fairy in the back, we'll kind of test it well, because both of our Pokemon are weak, both of our Pokemon in the back are dark and weak to fairies, so like if they're running a Ramble, for example, we're screwed. Cool down here. We're going to go ahead and swap to our Obstagoon and see if we can draw out whatever else. The fact that, yeah, we draw out a which is awesome. We wanted to do that, so we want our Umbreon for that Giratina, and we want to be able to do enough damage here to be able to safely come back in with our Toxicroak, hopefully wipe out this Cobalion, and then close the game out with our Umbreon against that Giratina. So I'm feeling good about this matchup at this point. We aligned it well. We're going to save our shield. We're going to let it KO here. We're going to bring in our Toxicroak. Kind of just shut down here. Because it can't swap to, they can't swap to their Giratina. They swap their switch clock out there when they swap to the Cobalion, and we should be in good shape. Now, everything that Cobalion throws at us is resisted. So I believe we can go, you know, we're going to go ahead and shield this just because I want to make sure we survive it, and I want to make sure that we leave this matchup winning. Crap, I didn't realize that they have a second here. We might, yeah, we're okay, because I really, yeah, okay. No. Okay, yeah, that was a really smart play by them. That was a really smart play by them. They caught this on Giratina. We got to get out of here. And we got to get into our Umbreon here. So, our play here now is that their Cobalion is pretty good. Everything that their Giratina throws at us, we resist. We need to go into the Cobalion matchup with, I believe, we need at least one foul play ready to go on that Cobalion. I don't think that Cobalion has a move loaded, so we will have the opportunity to probably throw one fast move at it before we need to throw, but we're gonna, as soon as we get out of this matchup, we gotta throw a foul play at that and hopefully KO, and then ideally we catch our on our Toxicroak if and when they do have a move. Now everything that Giratina throws can't do too much here. We're throwing foul play here in a second. I'm gonna undercharge it though. So I think I'm just gonna let it do great. Yeah, we just want to do great. We want to be able to have one more fast move. Cool. They come in. We're gonna go ahead and throw our foul play. Now I think that they will have enough to charge moves now. So we need to go ahead and swap. And they kind of saw that come in. So that's tough. This just got tough. They might KO us here. I don't know for sure. We'll see. Yeah, pretty much KO'd us. So what won them the game was they swapped and caught our Mud Bomb. If they wouldn't have caught that Mud Bomb on that Giratina, we would have won that. So that's, you know, one thing to be very mindful of is people, the way that you win a lot of these matchups is that catching ability. So you got to be very mindful of the switch clocks and all that good stuff, and also, you know, be careful when you throw your moves to try and prevent someone from catching. So, some of the fun mechanics here. But anyways, here we go. We got an Ampharos. They swapped out to an Obstagoon, which is bold. I mean, I don't hate this matchup. I don't love this matchup. I don't want to bring in our own Obstagoon necessarily yet. They throw a Night Slash, which is interesting. I mean, we resist everything that it throws. We're going to throw the Dynamic Punch and we'll see. I mean, worst case, we're going to grab a shield. Best case, we KO it. And, you know, that's their loss. Yeah, goodbye. That's cool. Love it when they do that. So, okay, they are also now at this point, their switch clock all jacked up, so we're going to go ahead and get out of that matchup because this Mewtwo can annihilate Toxicroak there, so we're going to go into our Umbreon because they can't swap out yet, and we'll have enough time here to be able to do some good damage to this Mewtwo. Now Mewtwo does have, it's either close combat or dynamic punch. It's a fighting, yes, dynamic punch. So it's going to do a good amount of damage, super effective damage, but it's not going to do a ton. Umbreon is just super tanky. We're going to just farm down at this point and see what happens. They're probably going to get to another dynamic punch. Again, it's not going to be lethal to us, so we're going to let them throw it, and we'll let them come back in with their Ampharos, and at that point we'll have a charge move for it. Yeah, there you go. We throw our True Thought plays at it. We'll let them throw a charge move at us. You know, we have our Obstagoon in the back for that Mewtwo, which is dark and it's going to resist everything. We're going to be able to hopefully draw both the shield here now. We'll get our Toxicroak back in. We'll throw a Mud Bomb at this Ampharos, and that should be a good game. So yeah, it's just, they're going to just farm us down, which is fine. Let's see. Now, I believe anything that Ampharos throws at Toxicroak here is resisted. It's either Focus Blast, it might be a Thunder Punch. That's a Brutal Swing. So I at the last second decided to shield that, just to be safe, but didn't need to. We would have resisted that Brutal Swing. We won't shield this now because, you know, if they KO us, cool. We'll have enough energy on our Obstagoon by the time Mewtwo comes back in to take it down, and they threw another Brutal Swing. Yep, there you go, they're coming back in. Oh wow, their Mewtwo was so low that our Toxicroak, which was resisted damage to that Mewtwo, was able to KO. I didn't realize it was that low. Cool, that's a good game. So we went 4-1 on the first set here for the night. Not bad. I wish we would have won that second or that last game behind this one, but yeah, it was just a matter of we threw when we shouldn't have, and they were able to catch. So there we go. We climb a little bit. What did we climb there? We climbed 44 elo, so nothing crazy, but moving forward, moving up, moving up. All right, let's start the next set here. Facing Ash. This one's not Ash. Alright, again, we have an Ampharos here, so we're feeling good about this. They might swap, they might stay in. Again, the possible moves that Ampharos is running are either Focus Blast, Brutal Swing, Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is the one that we'd be the most afraid of, to be honest with you, because that's the one that's going to hit us neutral. The others are going to hit us for non-effective. So we're going to go ahead and not shield this and hope that they just throw a bait. They throw a Thunder Punch, so yeah, that's the one I was afraid of. So we now know that that's something we're going to shield and make it next time. So let's go ahead and shield that. Our charge move, the Mud Bomb, annihilates them. So as they saw, they shielded in that first one. They might try and catch. Yeah, they catch it. Yeah, good for them. I was afraid of that, but I figured it was worth the shot. So they came in with Charizard. That sucks. For us, we're gonna go and swap in our Umbreon here because our Obstagoon would be resisting, or would be throwing resisted damage to it with the counter. It's probably throwing a Blast Burn. Yeah, it's gonna stick a little bit. It is, unfortunately. We got it into farming down position at this point. This could be another Blast Burn, so we'll shield it just to be cautious. There you go. A Blast Burn would have KO'd us at this range, so we're going to shield that. We are going to be able to get to a charge move here. I'm sure they're bringing in Ampharos. They're either going to bring in Greninja. Cool. Greninja really glassy. We're not going to throw our Claw Play at it, obviously, because that'd be resisted, but our Last Resort will take out about a fourth of its health. And what we're gonna do here is we are gonna catch. Oh, nope, we are not. We are not gonna catch. Sometimes it's very hard to get that catch. And that's fine. Now we get the opportunity to bring in our Obstagoon. That's fine. We're able to do a good amount of damage there. We gotta really hope they don't have Focus Blast. If they have Focus Blast, we are SOL here. That'll KO us. It was just a Thunder Punch. We're gonna take this down here in a second. We have a Charge move and Cross Chop. It's gonna be very shield. I believe we will survive a Hydro Cannon if they get to it, which is a pretty strong thing build. If they have such a fast build with that fast move. I think we survive this, and I think we get to our Cross Chop move. Yeah. Oh man, they got a double move. That's lame. That's lame. I don't know if that should have happened. I don't know if that should have happened, but that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes things happen when they shouldn't, and that's okay. That's okay. Let's go to the next one. So Snorlax, so this is a good example. You're probably going to see them fast swap because they think we have counter. Yep, there you go. They bring in Poliwrath, which is amazing for us. Really good actually, because we now have our Obstagoon to take out that Snorlax later in the game, and we now have good alignment where this Poliwrath can't do too much to us. It's Shadow, so they're going to have a lot of pressure to shield. We also have equal pressure to shield because of that now, so we're going to go ahead and do that. But we can kind of bait them here. We baited them the first time, so we're going to go ahead and throw a deadly move at them this time and hope that they think that we're just messing around. And they did get our attack drop on the last one. So awesome. We got low. Do I want to shield this? I want to shield this just because I want to maintain alignment. Nice catch. I shouldn't have said shield that. I was afraid that it was going to be Skull, which would have been deadly for us. But they bring in a Muck, which is another, good move for us, because again, we still have Obstagoon for that Snorlax. We had a Mud Bomb, which is super effective damage here. Even our Obstagoon on this version of Muck is going to do neutral damage because it's Dark Poison, and we're running counter, so the Poison would resist counter, but the Dark of it makes it neutral. We're going to go ahead and throw our Charge move here. And anything that Muck throws at us here is not going to do too much damage. You see they're going to be Thunder Punch. We're going to try and catch them. We do catch them. They're either throwing Acid Spray, Thunder Punch, or Dark Pulse, which, yeah, Acid Spray, definitely. They're going to come in with Snorlax now, which is not going to be doing much to us in terms of fast move because they're running Lick. Which is a Ghost attack. We're Dark, we resist Ghost. They do, of course, have Superpower. We're going to throw that. They're going to put Body Slam, which is fine by us. We're hoping that they will throw a that they do throw a Superpower, because that'll drop their attack, drop their defense, and then come into Obstagoon and just tear it up. Let's see what they do. And their Shadow, which makes them really not strong. I'm hoping, throw that Superpower, please. Throw it. That's fine. We're gonna get to another charge move. We're gonna be really weak. And we have a full health Obstagoon for that Muck. That Muck can't do too much. We know that it's running Acid Spray, and likely then it's gonna be running. And we're gonna go Spray. That was bad. Because now they can throw Superpower. That was bad. Yep. Oh, that was bad. Okay, that was my mistake. I shouldn't have I mean, I think it was going to be close either way because they could have farmed us down on the Umbreon at where we were, and then they would have had a superpower anyways when we brought Obstagoon in. So, that one became very tight, and yeah, we started to lose our lead. This is another one where they might quick swap because they think we're running counter. Yeah, there you go. We're bringing Cresselia, cool. We're going to bring Umbreon, which does some sort of damage. So we know they have Greninja, our Obstagoon, and our Toxicroak have favorable matchups there. Toxicroak we'd have to shield on against like Greninja, Obstagoon not so much. And then this Cresselia, we're going to just let Cresselia, you know, do its thing. Its Moonblast does some decent damage to us, but it's fast and it does pretty much nothing. Hi to everyone watching. If you are interested, go ahead and drop a comment. I'm watching the comments, and we'll respond as much as we can. Let me know what you think of these matchups so far. They're probably going to get to a Moonblast here, and we're just going to let them have it, and then we'll bring our Toxicroak in. They'll probably bring Greninja in because of that. Now that they know it instead of ooh, they bring in a fairy. See, this is what I'm talking about. They fear the Toxicroak so much that they bring in something that is weak to it. Which, I mean, isn't a bad idea, but because they don't know that we have Obstagoon. If they knew that we had Obstagoon, that would have been a really bad move for them to bring in stuff like that. So we're going to be able to do some good damage here. We're not going to shield the next thing that they throw at us. And that's because we do want to save a shield for our Obstagoon up against that Greninja, just in case. And I don't think this case will kill us. Yeah, I think we end up drawing. We're not going to shield this first charge move from them to see if they're baiting us or to see what they're running. They do have Hydro Cannon, so we know that now. We'll shield the second one. So, Greninja, you are either going to see people running Hydro Cannon, which is the preferred move for sure, does a lot of damage, very speedy build to it, or you're going to see them running Night Slash. Night Slash, as you know, right, Stark move, it can boost your attack, and that good stuff. Or you'll see them run very interesting choices, which are going to be either Surf or Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump, Super, Nuke, Surf, very, very spammy, but it looked like they were running Hydro Cannon. We didn't get to see this move, so we were able to pull that one off. We do need to win our next 2 games here if we want to have a positive matchup, or a positive set. So let's cross our fingers on our toes, and we can pull that out here. So my goal really is, you know, I just try to get to the 3 wins in a set. Number 1, so I can get the Pokemon encounter. And number 2, that is enough to, you know, move your elo up a little bit. This is a bad matchup for us. We're gonna, the way that I like to play this one, I usually build to the mud bottom and flip it and try and catch that Hydro Cannon on our Umbreon. So we were able to pull that off here. Hydro Cannon doesn't do too much to Umbreon because it is so picky. This big shadow will do a little bit more to us. So go ahead and just let that happen. Now they'll typically, in the next time here, they usually will build to an Earthquake. So this is probably an Earthquake, so we are going to go ahead and shield that, because that would still go up. Okay, alright, it's just a Hydro Pump. Smart. Let's see what they bring in. They bring in a Surf Fetch. So we're going to go ahead and throw Last Resort, which will at least do neutral damage. The Foul Play would just do not effective. So they're either throwing Brave Bird or a Leaf Blade. We're gonna just let it go through so we can get our hands on Brave Bird. Nice slash even, so even better for us. And then we're gonna get another last resort here. Cool. Shield. Nice. Alright, we get to bring in our toxic probe, and we're gonna just farm down on this now. So here could be a brave bird, in which case we're effed. Or it could be, yeah. Interesting matchup that they were, or interesting moveset that they ran there, which was the brave bird and ice slash. Usually you would see, you usually do see brave bird, but you would usually see the grass. I think it has leaf blade. I forget which grass move or leaf blade. This is gonna be tight now because they're gonna get, yeah, they got to their hydro cannon, so it's gonna be a good game for our opponent. Alright, well, GG's. That officially makes it to where this set is not positive. We are gonna go at best case. We're going 2-4 or 2-3. But you know, we had some good matchups. They've all been, the good thing is that they've all been close. You know, even matchups that were not the best of Pokemon alignment for us, we put in a good fight. We put in the work, but yeah, we're just getting a little outplayed here, which is, you know, good. There's a lot of really talented, really smart people in this game, and there's a good example. We get to see a nice fast swap. They thought we had counter. They brought in something that would resist counter, and now, you know, we can throw something that is going to do super effective damage to them, and, you know, we get to save our Obstagoon for that. Interesting that they didn't throw their move. They should have been at a stall at that point. So they're gonna have to shield us. Now this is a tight one. It's either Scald or Acid Spray. We're gonna shield it. And we call it light. So we called it as Scald. If it would have been Acid Spray, that would have been not so fun for us. Now we're gonna call Scald again. And again, we really want to just control this alignment, and we want to. There's nothing that we can do up against this with our other Pokemon back, right? It's going to resist our counter from our Obstagoon. Our Umbreon doesn't do a ton of damage unless you're going up against something that it deals super effective damage to. So that worked out for us. They're going to probably bring in. I mean, at this point, we don't want to swap because we really want to have the right alignment here. So we want them to beat our Toxic Probe so that we can freely bring in our Giratina, and then when they swap to their Greedent, we can go for our Obstagoon and have the proper. That's the play there. Unfortunately, that's the thing. You don't want to be pressured to swap to something that you don't want to at the wrong time, because if we would have gone to our If we would have swapped from our Toxic Probe to our Umbreon, they would have gone to their Greedent. We wouldn't have been able to swap at that point, and we would have locked in Umbreon against Greedent, which would have been a terrible matchup, as opposed to this matchup here, which we can dominate on. That's funny. I didn't realize when Greedent gets hit from a charge move, it looks like it drops candy. It's really fun to watch that in the animation. It looks like it drops candy. Yeah, look at that. He drops candy out of his back. I never realized that. Cool. So we win that, and then we're gonna have a Night Slash load in here. They probably didn't move. They don't throw. I thought they would have had a move, and they should have thrown that, because that would have helped them have a little bit better of a matchup. At that point, we can just swap to our Umbreon, because there's no point in sitting there with our Obstagoon and just letting them build.
again, everything that they throw, it just does neutral damage. Dragon Claw, neutral damage on Umbreon. Umbreon, super tanky, so it doesn't do much damage to us. The other move that the Giratina will typically have on it is Ancient Power. It usually takes one or two more fast moves to get to, but the fear from that is that it can boost their defense, it can boost their attack, but again, in that situation, it can't do much. And as you see there, our opponent kind of sees that, and they quit. That's GG's to our opponent. So there you go, we went 2 and 3 on the second set, so what is that? That makes us 6 and 4 on the day on the sets here. So we're not doing great, we're not doing bad, we're doing somewhere in between. So we're at 2263 elo now, which is better than we started, but not as high as we'd like to be. Let's go ahead and try a different league out. Let's go into Great League so we can see a different type of style and different type of play. So my team in Great League right now is Marill, Gligar, and Stunfisk. You can see their ranking there. So my Marill is the 99.2%, my Gligar 99.1%, my Stunfisk 98%. So that's talking about their IV. So let's take that as a moment to talk about IV quick. IV, if you don't know, first of all, you see your IV by going into your Pokemon and then hitting the praise button. You get to see its attack stat, its defense stat, its defense stat. For PvP, for most Pokemon, the rule of thumb is that you want to have a low attack stat, so basically 0, or you want to have a very high defense and very high HP. That is what will typically make it better in PvP. Now there's some Pokemon like what you saw on Umbreon and Ultra League where you want absolutely perfect IVs to make it. And that's because it maxes out below the cap for the league. So Umbreon as a perfect, fully loaded, it maxes out at 2416, and then when it's perfect and best buddy, you can get that up to 30. So here you go, you can see they swap it in turn, which is obviously going to do some good damage to our Marill there, or Asmarill, because it's water and that's electric. So we're going to go into our Stunfisk here where we can do some super effective damage, and of course it can do some super effective damage with its Surf. We're going to let that first one go through as you saw. We're going to build our Earthquake, hope that they think that we're baiting and don't shoot. And get that my turn. Ooh, and they come in with the Medicham, that's fine. They're going to throw a power-up punch here, and I don't think that's going to allow us to get to Earthquake again. Oh, it does. Okay, it does. So we get to another Earthquake, cool. They're going to either shield that or not, but then we get to come in with our Gligar, which does super effective damage to it. Now, the thing about Medicham, so we know that it's running Power Up Punch. The question is it running Ice Punch or is it running Psychic? If it's Ice Punch, that has now been powered up, we're dead. And it is. So that was a bad call by me. I wish I would have shielded that. That just put us in a really tight position. We have the slightest possibility of winning this. And that is if we can get to this Earthquake. We can't. And we can't. That was tight. If I would have shielded that Ice Punch, if I would have called correctly, we would have won that. The luck of the draw. I didn't think that they would have been running Ice Punch and Power Up Punch. Usually people run Power Up Punch and Psychic on Medicham. But yeah, sometimes you call right, sometimes you call wrong. That's the fun. Alright, this is a good matchup for us. Asmarill against Medicham. I mean, at the first pass here, we built just a neutral effective damage. At some point in this, they're either going to build up to Psychic, which doesn't do a ton of damage to us, or they're going to just bait with a shield, or they're going to swap out. Psychic. It's fine. We'll throw Clay Rough, which does super effective damage on them since they're fighting. What we absolutely do not want to do is swap to our Gligar. They're going to do the same thing here. They're probably going to throw Psychic. Yeah, it's fine. We'll throw our whatever this is called. What is this called? Play Rough. We'll throw out Play Rough. They shield. That's cool. That's cool. And we're gonna bring in our Gligar, and it should just take much trouble. They bring in a Toxic Hex. So, I mean, it doesn't do much damage to us as a good news because it's throwing poison. It does have Brine, which is a water move, which will do super effective damage to both this Gligar since it's ground and to our Stunfisk, which is ground. But other than that, it's not going to do... I mean, Brine is going to do super effective damage, but it's not going to do any damage because it's not a super powerful move. We're going to shield it just because we have shield advantage, they have shield left. And what's interesting here is... Oh wow, they have their own Stunfisk. So, I swapped to our Stunfisk thinking that they were weak to Gligar with whatever was in the back. I think they're throwing Rock Slide here. Oh, they did throw Earthquake, so hey Iggy, how's it going? Thanks for joining the live stream as well. Thanks for, appreciate you watching all the content. And they back out because they realize that we now have a fully loaded Gligar in the back and a Stunfisk that built energy pretty quick, so their Toxapex was going to be in trouble. Cool. All right, let's go back into Great League here. So we won our first Great League battle there. The first one was really close. It was just a matter of me calling the wrong move that our opponent was throwing, and we would have won. But you know, that's how the games work. So all fun and games. All right, this is a neutral matchup for us. I mean, it does not a very effective damage to us by throwing us a counter. We do neutral damage to it with our bubble. The play here, they might have Rock Slide, they might have Thunderbolt. Either way, we take it pretty well here. We'll see what they throw. They do throw that Thunderbolt, so good for them. We're gonna go ahead and throw Hydro Pump. And they usually don't expect this. So they don't shield it, and it does a good amount of damage to them. And this we know is going to be the Thunderbolt, or it could be a bait. Yeah, it's a bait at that point. So that was a bad shield, but that's cool. Well, they probably do have Thunderbolt now, but they're debuffed, so it might not KO us. Oh, they throw another Psychic Boost. That's fine. So at that point, we can kind of just run down, but just to play it safe, let's just win this and have alignment control. Yeah, I mean, we can stop throwing because it's going to kill them. Alright, we did get to a Play Rough here on a Shadow Ninetales, which would do a good amount of damage. Now, this is interesting for us. So, it looked like that was running. I mean, the safest play here is to bring in our no matter what move Ninetales was running, we resist it with our Stunfisk, and this is why controlling that alignment was super important. If we would have let them win with their Deoxys, we would have been forced to bring in our Stunfisk, which then they would have brought in, you know, something else instead of their Ninetales, which we have a favorable matchup now. They try and catch the third to Green Ninja, which is not for us to do. Go ahead and make a swap here. Oh man, I should not have showed that. This is gonna be close. This is gonna be close. Let me know in chat what you think is gonna happen here. Do you think we're gonna pull this off, or do you think we're gonna lose? They're probably throwing Hydro Cannon here because we have no shields. It's gonna KO us. But the question is gonna be is can we... Oh man. Oh dang. I should have thrown. I didn't think... This Great Ninja is just so spammy. So spammy. Oh man. Alright, that's okay. We had an opportunity. There was a window for us to win there, and yeah, we took a left turn. Alright, let's go into another Great League here. Unless, let me know in chat, do you want to see us do more Great League? Do you want us to go into, even Master League? Do you want us to go into the Ultra League again? Let me know what you'd like to see, which league you're preferring. Hakarisu, this is interesting. You don't see too many of these. Now, what's interesting here is that it does some super effective damage to us. So we're going to go ahead and swap and catch whatever it's going to throw here. This is a, if you've never seen Hakarisu here, this is a regional Pokemon to, I think, just Alaska. So I think Hakarisu you can only catch in Alaska. I don't know why they chose that. I think it's just because it's a very winter-esque squirrel Pokemon. They're gonna probably throw Air Slash at us, which are they avoiding? Okay, that's fine. We do super effective damage, and we take neutral damage here. I'm gonna throw a Night Slash and see what happens. We wanted to keep this Tropius away from our Asmodee. And we still have our Stunfisk for that Hakarisu that we saw. So when we get back up against that, we have a ground type to fight that one off. We really want to keep Hakarisu away from our Asmodee, and we want to keep the Tropius away from our Asmodee as well. So we should see what their third Pokemon here is now, and we get to control the alignment. So unless they do bring in Hakarisu again, so it's an interesting choice, which is fine. Like I said, that's what we wanted, because now we get to come in with Stunfisk, they'll swap out, and then we just have to roll the dice and hope that our Asmodee can take care of whatever comes back. And this is a... so that is a Medicham. Our Asmodee does take care of that with DT. Now the one thing that we have to be careful here is we do have a shield disadvantage. They have 2 shields, we have 1. And the thing about Asmodee is that it does take a good amount of time to build up to these charge moves, so we gotta be careful. We do throw Psychic right away. We will only survive one of those. If we throw a second one, we are in trouble. And this is now going to be a race for who can get to their charge moves the fastest. And the game is running slow, so they may have quit. They may have seen the writing on the wall. Yeah, and now you can see that they must have closed the app. Because what happens when you close the app is you get into this mode where it's kind of just stuck here. As opposed to if they top or left did, then the game would end. So they backed out, they closed their app, and now we kind of just sit here in purgatory until everything kind of times out. So it'll force the Hakarisu back in here. So they must have felt that it wasn't worth the squeeze there, and that either they knew that they weren't going to win, or it just wasn't worth their time. So we'll take it. We'll take the win. I think we could have pulled that off anyways had they not backed out. So appreciate the session. And yeah, GG's to our winners. Let me know what you think of Hakarisu. Have you actually been able to catch that regional Pokemon? Have you gone to Alaska? Do you live in Alaska? Have you just sought it out, traded with somebody? It's a cool one. Like I said, you don't see that in PvP very often because of it being super regional, and it's also not super meta relevant either. So you rarely see it, but it's always cool to see it when it comes through. Alright, we'll do one more in the Great League here, and then we'll go back to Ultra League. We're having a little bit better luck there. I think this is the last one of this set. Thanks for the... Yeah, thank you for saying nice win. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll do one more here in the Great League, and then if there's no preference, we'll go back to Ultra League. I think we're playing a little bit stronger there, but this is our opportunity here to go 3 into... We want to get the heck out of dodge on that. Victory Bell is super strong. It just throws so much damage. It can take out things that are just like it just cuts through with like butter with that laser. So we want to get out of that and make sure our Asriel does not have to fight that one. And we're gonna go ahead and shield this because we do take neutral damage to leaf, and we just want to get the heck rid of this thing. Now you can see in our opponent here, they're just going for pure tank power. They had 2 shadows. They had Victory Bell Shadow, which does crazy amounts of damage, and then they also had the Shadow Grandeur at the so that's crazy. And then they have a Bastion. So this is just the tankiest team. You have 2 Pokemon that just deal mammoth amounts of damage. And then you have Bastiodon, which is a total team. And the good news here is that we're in good shape. We have our Stunfisk here that is going to resist the charm from Bramble. We have the Asriel, which is going to do super effective damage with the Hydro Pump against Bastiodon. One thing to note about our Asriel that people don't suspect is a lot of people on Asriel actually run Playrun and Ice Beam. We run Hydro Pump for this exact reason. That Bastiodon is still very meta relevant, very in the Great League. What you've seen a reduction of is a lot of flyers. So last season there was a bunch of Noctiles, there was a bunch of Leaders, as you see me running, there was a bunch of Pidgeots, all that kind of stuff for that ice game was super valuable. This season not too much in this season. Our opponent crit, they just got how they have. That was a good game. GG's to our opponent. We go 3 and 2 on this 3rd set of the day. We are going to get that Pokemon encounter. Let's see if it's something good. Scraggy. Scraggy was just out in the wild, which you don't see very often. Scraggy in the wild, so it was nice to be able to stock up on some IV, a good IV for PvP, Scraggies, stock up on some of those Candy XLs, all that good stuff. This is an okay one, but we're going to go ahead and transfer it. And we get back to 2277. So, yo-yo. We are yo-yoing here. We started at 2233, we went up to 2277, and then we are back at 2277. Oh, cool. My Polito got kicked out of the gym, and I got some coins. That's funny. In my little neighborhood here, you can see 2 Starlies, 2 Shadow Starly raids. Let's check this Togedemaru in the wild here to see what his eyes are. Looking for a perfect Togedemaru, because with perfect Togedemaru you can have it for the Ultra League. If you don't, it's really not worth building. Cool, well let's go into Ultra League again. I was having a little bit more fun in Ultra League. It's a little bit more dynamic. Our team in Ultra League is considered a little bit quote-unquote more spicy than our team for Great League. And that's because of that toxic growth running that poison jab is something that a lot of people don't suspect, and it really does cause them to glitch like you saw in some of our players. Oh, look at this, another toxic growth. What's it running? Is it running poison or is it running counter? It's running counter, so that's like I was saying. And because of that, we actually get to our Mud Bomb before them, which good for them. They realized and they yielded. Bad move for them to swap though, because now that opens the door for us to come into this Lapras matchup with a Obstagoon where we can just tear through it. It's gonna go Surf and we're just at this point we're just building. We will build to, you know, maxed out, and we'll throw a Night Slash, we're going to throw a boost. But I want to just go into that matchup with the Toxicroak with full energy. They're going to throw another Surf, we survive it. We don't want to give the Toxicroak too much to farm on, and we want to force it to throw against us. So exactly as I hoped, we go in with two charge moves. They're going to bring in Toxicroak, they're going to throw Mud Bomb. When and if they do, we're going to shield that, but we do get our move here first. Because we did get our move off, I probably won't shield the Mud Bomb. If they do that, we have a chance to, because yeah, their counter's just that strong. We don't want to bring in Umbreon because Umbreon will be torn up. We do want to bring back our Toxicroak. Now we have to remember they do have a charging go. So we're gonna yield, we're gonna shield this Mud Bomb because it'll do some bad damage to us, and we do not want this Toxicroak to see our Umbreon. So we got a double shield here. Eggy, do you play much PvP? You said you rarely get to the Pokemon. You play PvP often? I got into it really for the sole reason of trying to get the Pikachu Libre. And it's just something to chase. I'm probably never gonna get there, but that's fine. Oh wow, they have a Ramble. Oh man, this is gonna be tough now because we are stuck between a rock and a hard place because that Gramble does a lot of hard damage to us with that charm, and it's going to tear through our Umbreon here, and then of course as you saw they have counter on their Toxicroak, so we can't do too much here. That's our play here is to really just hope that we can farm this Gramble down and then hopefully throw. Yeah, they're gonna get to another charge move. Our hope there was that, hey, can we get a charge move to throw at that Toxicroak when it comes back in? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! We might pull this off, and it will solely be because we have this best buddy. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Wow. Okay, that was pure luck. That was the best buddy power there. You get an extra, what they call a break point, which is that we got one sliver of health to go into that matchup, and we had that stored energy to throw at that Toxicroak. So, whew, that was insane. Whew, all right, catch your breath after that one. Yeah, no, I feel that, Iggy. Yeah, playing to catch is definitely more fun. That's what the game is all about. Even Niantic, the company that does this, they don't invest a ton into PvP. I mean, they could do a lot more to make it, you know, more accessible and make it more of a core part of the game. But it doesn't seem like they are that interested in it. There's a lot of rumors right now that they're going to start to focus a little bit more on it. For the next season, so we'll see what that brings. But yeah, playing to catch is the big part of the game, of course, and a lot of fun. We are going to want to shield this from this Cavalier because it's Scroll. Oh, dang, it's Acid Spray. That's interesting. That's not expected. Oh, that threw me totally off. If it would have been a drill run, that would have KO'd us, and you kind of just have to yield to that because that's the expectation. We're gonna just let it go and see what it is. I mean, yeah, there's the Well, knowing that they're running Drill Run and Acid Spray, we're gonna bring in Umbreon. Because the concern with Umbreon would be that they have Mega Horn, which would do some big damage to us. They're gonna just throw an Acid Spray here to debuff our Umbreon for whatever they have in the back. This bad Umbreon is too tanky. Okay. We're gonna farm and go into whatever they have in the back with some energy. This will be a drill run, so because they did debuff us, we will shield this. Oh, you suck. If this Ampharos has Focus Blast, we're in trouble. If it has just Brutal Swing and Thunder Punch, we stand a good shot. Zap Cannon. Ouch. So that's the other move that it has. It's got two moves, Zap Cannon and Focus Blast. And yeah, this one is not looking winnable for us, unfortunately. And we're gonna, yeah, that's fine. I could just let them win, but what's the fun in that? You never know, too. Sometimes people will lag out and you'll end up winning the game that you think of. And hey, I will take that free. Wow, 4 people watching. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully, you're learning a thing or two about PvP or mad judging my skills. That's fine too. Would appreciate any tips you got on how to be better. Alright, so we are 1-1 on this fresh set here. And I think this is our 4th set of the day. So you get 5 sets a day, all that good stuff. So here's a good example, right? They had Greninja. If we were running counter, they would have been totally trouble. And they swap to a Clefable, which we are going to shred through. We're going to shield this just because that was psychic. That would have hurt like that would have KO'd us. I would have guessed that it was going to be what is that? Meteor Mash, but it wasn't. And luckily we shielded that just to be safe. We're going to shield this against the same deal, and we do not want our back Pokemon to see a fairy. And when they come back in with that Greninja here in a second, we are going to have a nice little surprise for it. And back YouTube. Which is going to do some stingy damage to our Toxic. We're going to go ahead and get our... necessary evil there to swap there. I could have swapped to our Obstagoon, which may have forced them to go to the Greninja just on habit and fear for like, hey, will you swap to something? But this is fine. I mean, we'll throw a Last Resort. It'll do about 1/4 of the damage. They can't do too much. I'm going to force them to throw some energy, and we'll get this nice and low. We'll come in with Obstagoon. Obstagoon can take care of that Mewtwo. Okay, we just put ourselves in a bad position because I think we're going to have to rely on catch against that Mewtwo. So I don't know how much did that Mewtwo throw? How much did it throw? I think it gets to its dynamic punch 3. So we need to change now. Okay. That catch right here is what's going to win this game. Because that dynamic punch does diddly to us as a poison. We're going to get to throw a Mud Bomb at this. And then we'll get our sweet little Night Slash here, and this should close the game for us. So, seeing 2 questions in the chat here. Oh man. They're gonna win it by a sliver. Dang. So Eggy, to answer your question, do I play Scarlet or Violet on the Switch? I have both Scarlet and Violet. I've started the games. I haven't gotten very far in them. I wish I was more into them. I really want to play them. I've played them enough to be able to get Gimmighoul in Pokemon Go by sending the coin bag. I've gotten, past the first town in Scarlet, but I haven't done too much more. I want to get back into it. And then Swift Crossing, you see the question, how many sets can you do a day? It depends on if they have any boosts for the PvP arenas. So on a typical average day, you get 5 sets of 5. So you can do 25 battles. Over the weekend, this past weekend, there was this thing called the World's Championship, which is the big Pokemon event of the year where they do a ton of in-person things. And because of that, we actually got 10 sets a day over the weekend for a total of 50 games. And then every season, a season being like a 90-day stretch or a 3-month stretch of boosts, they usually will do a weekend of PvP, in which case you'll get 100 battles or 25 sets of battles. And those usually come on twice a season. And one is going to feature Stardust Awards, and one is going to feature a special Pokemon that they will have boosted shiny rates for. So the last season they did a Vulpix Day. The season before that they did a Vulpix Day. And in those days you got 25 sets of that. So it really just depends. But on an average day you get 5 sets or 25 days. Now you can hack that a little bit because you get 5 full sets. Now if you really wanted to do a day of hardcore PvP and you wanted to do 6 quote-unquote sets, you could start a set the day before, play 1 battle, back out, and then the following day you'll be able to complete that set of 5 and then go into another set of 5. You'll be able to complete that set and then go into a new fresh set of 5. So you'll get 6 sets, but really you would get 24 battles as opposed to 29 as opposed to 3. Alright, we saw that this was running Brutal Swing, so we're not going to shield this, and we'll get to Now this is scary because it could have Focus Blast, in which case we're in trouble. Yep, and good thing we shielded that. That would have been devastating. And we should be in good shape to win this now because it's a Greninja. We do super effective damage to that. We have a nice charge move here for it. Its Hydro Cannon is going to sting, but it's not going to be lethal. It's going to throw it might have a double here, so we're going to have to throw our charge move just to try to see if we tie it so that it can't get instead of a gun. I don't know why it's able to throw 2 like that back to back. If we lose this, yeah, that was my bad. I should have thrown because we had a charge move and I didn't think that they'd be able to get 2 off. It's a little lame. That's a little lame. Or a little lamb. It's a little lamb. Because that's what Emperor says. A little lamb. At least when it's Murray. Alright, well, let's hope that we can at least get this win into 2 and 3. And like I said, we've been yo-yoing. We went 4-1, 2-3, 3-2, and then we'll go 2-3 here. So here we want to. They're probably throwing a Feather Dance, which is unfortunate because we have to shield it. Yeah. Oh, Eggy, there's a code to get a Grimmsnarl. A Grimmsnarl in Pokemon Go or a Grimmsnarl in Scarlet and Violet. I've heard about the Mew and the Mewtwo that are coming to Scarlet and Violet, and I think they're equivalent of raids. I haven't looked too much into that, but I've heard that message. Oh, that's cool. I saw the DLC that they just announced for Scarlet and Violet. That looks really cool. The new legendaries are cool, and I like the turtle one quite a bit. I don't know how I feel yet about the what are they calling them? The Paradox Pokemon, which is a very interesting reinterpretation of some of the classics. I think the one that's kind of quote-unquote breaking the internet right now is the Raikou, where it's got like a long neck. Don't know how I feel about that, but I mean it's cool. I mean I love that they keep making new Pokemon and trying new things and seeing what works and doesn't work. It'll be interesting to see what that all brings. This is going to be a close one too now. They have all 3 Pokemon left. We are up against now Fable, which will do some good damage to us. It's going to probably be at a Moonblast here. Oh, that's just an interaction. Okay, I'll take it. Pidgeot is another one when we were talking about IVs earlier. For Ultra League, you need a perfect Pidgey to make it work. Even better if you have a Best Buddy Pidgey, like you can see ahead of us here. That's a perfect Best Buddy Pidgey at 2407 something. It's going to probably throw Brave Bird in the... Oh, wow. If there was Feather Dance, that was a bad move. So, this is unfortunate because we should have won this, but alignment can be a real pain. If we would have been able to have our Obstagoon up against the Pidgeot from the get-go and our Toxicroak up against the Clefable, we would have won this, and then our Umbreon against the Giratina, we would have won. That's where alignment really matters. Because we had all the right pieces and all the right parts to win that, but in the wrong order, we lose. So, good game to our opponent there. And here we are at 2231 ELO, so we are now officially below where we started. So that's the yo-yo. That's the yo-yo. The game does a really nice job of, keeping it balanced, and that's why it's so impressive when people do get to that legend status. Because, yeah, it really does, carry hot streak, and, it really finds a nice balance here. Alright, this is a good matchup for us. We will technically win this, but as you can see, like, the Shadow Ramble, it just does ridiculous damage. It is technically doing neutral damage to us right now, and just tearing through us like butter. Swaps, missing swaps, so it's cool. A Greninja that's going to give us a nice opportunity here to go into our Obstagoon, which can tear that up. So that's lucky. And obviously, like, we do not want our Obstagoon to have any health when that Gramble comes back in, because we do not want that Gramble to get to another charge move. So we don't shield this. We go into that Gramble with, a sliver of health. It hits us with one fast move. We come back in with our Toxicroak, and we hopefully take out the Gramble, and then we have a 2-shield advantage up against whatever's in the back for them. With our Umbreon, which is quite tanky, it should be able to do it. So we shield this so that we can kill this Gramble. We're going to throw our charge move here just to get rid of it. They might shield just to KO us. Oh, sweet. And that's what we were looking for. If we can get back, that's a good game for our opponent. So we're not going to even shield this. We don't really have to shield anything here. We'll start shielding at the very, very end if they want to fight. What's my go-to Pokemon in PvP? That is a great question. It really differs, and like I like to play with a bunch of different ones. Right now, I really like playing with the Toxicroak. It's a lot of fun the way that it has the dynamic of that play, where you have 3 really different types of moves. Where with the Poison Jab on the lead, you can take down fairies. With the Mud Bomb, you can take down ground and poison as well. And fighting, you can take out another good chunk of Pokemon types. So I really like the dynamic play of Toxicroak. I also really loved playing in the Ultra League. I really like playing with the Volt Pokemon, which is going to be Virizion, Cobalion. I guess I never really played with Terrakion much, but I like Virizion and Cobalion in Ultra League. In Great League, every so often I like playing with Charizard. It's a fun one to play with. And in Master League, I'll play with my Shadow Mewtwo, which I just built from the Shadow raids that were happening in June. Or when was that? Was that June or was that May? I think it was the last weekend. But during that, I was able to build the Shadow Mewtwo, and so I played that in Master League. We are up against a Cresselia. We're going to swap to our Obsidian here, and we're going to hope that they swap to Cobalion. They go into Virizion. So I speak of the double. Virizion, the Pokemon that you're seeing across from us right now, is Eggy one of the Pokemon that I really enjoy playing with as well. It's got really cool dynamics on it. It has I think its fast move is called Double Kick, and then it's got Sacred Sword and Leaf Blade as its attacks. Now it's really fun because one of the things. So I also do believe in the fact that like there's not necessarily a quote-unquote algorithm that pairs you with people in PvP, but I do think that like there's some method to the madness. But what I've found is that when I play Virizion, I end up facing a lot more Charizards, and there's a little bit of a just like we're having with our Toxicroak here, where we are running the Poison Jab and people aren't expecting that. One of the moves that Virizion has access to is Stone Edge, I think is what it is. It's the rock type move. And so when you face a Charizard, the common plays of Virizion is Sacred Sword, which is a fighting move, and Leaf Blade, which is a grass move. So that's what people are expecting you to play with. But then if you do have Stone Edge and you're facing a Charizard and you throw that at a Charizard, they usually won't shield, thinking like, oh hey, I'm flying and fire, I don't need to fear a fighting move or a grass move, and then you'll throw a Stone Edge at it and it'll just KO it and they won't ever see it coming. So that's a fun thing to do. So we're putting all our eggs here in the basket of Umbreon. As you can see, we didn't shield anything there. Kind of is what it is. I'm gonna shield this just because, yeah, I thought it was gonna be a new blast, and it is, so I just start shield. I mean, there's no real point of us throwing our move at this point because they have 2 shields, so they're gonna shield it. We're gonna save it and just simply swap. They do swap green, so that's unfortunate because that would have been great for our. I mean, really, either our Toxicroak or our Umbreon or our Obsidian would have had a good time facing against this Empoleon. So again, this is going to be another example of like, we had all the right pieces and the right parts, it's just in the wrong order. So it's going to be a close game. Like if we would have been able to have our Toxicroak go up against the Virizion, our Toxicroak would have won. If we would have had our Umbreon, or if we would have had our Obsidian up against this Empoleon, our Obsidian would have won. And then if we could have had our Umbreon up against Cresselia, our Umbreon would have won. So this is a game that we're going to lose, and it's going to be just because of the alignment of the Pokemon in the game, as opposed to just being out. I mean, we were outplayed, but sometimes it's just the luck of the draw of, you know, what is your lead versus their lead, and can you read what they might have in the back to know if you need to swap out at that point or not. With them running a Cresselia in the lead, usually what you see is Giratina and Qualian, or Giratina and some other fairy type. So it usually wouldn't. I mean, we needed to swap out of our Toxicroak in that situation, but it is what it is. So it's all good here. Let's see if there's anything cool happening around us here. Let's see if this is shiny and oh, that's too far. That's sad. Alright, it's not cooperating. Alright, let's go back in. I think this is our last set. I think this is our fifth and final set. So once we hit the end here, we'll call it a night for the live stream. The purpose of this live stream, if you're hanging in with us, was really because number one, I'm going to GoFest this weekend, and I am hoping to go live from there and show you guys some of what's going on there, and have some fun with what questions you might have or what you might want to see. So that's thing one, and then thing two was really to just test and make sure that we could. So this is interesting. They had that Granbull. I didn't show that, thinking that, you know, they didn't have double fairies, and they do have double fairies, so that's unfortunate. This is an instance where we're actually going to want to save that Toxicroak before that Granbull later, because surprisingly enough, our Obstagoon can do okay up against this Tapu Fini, especially if we call that right. Call that right, and now our Obstagoon can put in a good amount of work here with a Tapu Fini that's running water. We'll see how this goes. So yeah, let me know in the comments, do you have any interest in GoFest? Is there anything that you'd want to be seeing from GoFest? I'll be in the park experience on Saturday morning, and then Sunday I'll be walking around New York City exploring. Same deal, if you want to be invited to raids from GoFest, drop your friend code in the comments or in one of my prior videos, and I'll definitely try and invite you to some of the raids. As a reminder, the raids that will be live in the city are going to be Rayquaza, Mega Diancie, and then also Xerneas and Yeltal, which are, I think, live. So this was an interesting team that we're facing right here, right now. It's a triple fairy team, so that's rough for us. We might get really lucky. You can see that our Obstagoon is really putting in the work here. I'm trying to think here of what we want. What's our play? I think we want to bring in our Umbreon. That's what we want to do. Now, Togekiss has some interesting moves. It's either going to be running Aura Sphere, which is going to do some critical damage, or it's running Aerial Ace. So that's very good that we did not bring in that Toxicroak. So here now we had a charge move, so we can actually go ahead and throw that. This should KO this. They have a shield that does that. And I didn't realize that they had a charge move already. Is this running Snarl? I think they've been running Snarl on that ground. Yeah, they are. That's weird. Oh man, that's a bummer that we didn't get that move off, but that's okay. We have a foul play ready to go here, and we're gonna win. This was a nice, this is one that we very easily could have lost, and we were able to flip for us. That was a triple fairy team. So really the only Pokemon that we had that would have done anything to any of them was our Poison and Toxicroak. But because we were able to flip out of that Granbull Toxicroak matchup and save our Toxicroak to do a little bit more later in the game, we were able to win that and pull that off. So that was tough. Very easily could have gone the other way. And we also lucked out that Granbull was running Snarl instead of Charm. If it would have been running Charm, we would have been are we back up? I think I was able to, yeah, I think we've restored the stream on the same connection, so really sorry about that glitch there. Not sure what caused that. I think I may have accidentally triggered Siri, and I don't think the streaming app liked that. So at any rate, apologies, we're back. We were able to win that game, so I think where we glitched out and where we lagged was you saw us with a Toxicroak up against a Zacian, and we were able to win that game, and we did get our third encounter for that set. So let's check in and see what we got. Let's cross our fingers for a shiny or a legendary. Ooh, Meryl. Okay, all right, we'll take it. Oh, it jumped. All right, our buddy's gonna help us get that catch there, though. Cool, awesome. Thanks for bearing with us, everybody. Hope you're back in. But totally understand if you needed to take a break, or if that made you lose interest. No worries. We were able to win against that Zacian team, and we are back here. So we do have a official positive set this go around. We'll see what happens. So this a bad matchup for us. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna try and catch this Feather Dance on our Umbreon. Awesome. Thanks for the confirmation there, Eggy. That is back up and working. I had the same issue yesterday when I was testing the stream, and this time I was able to get back into the existing stream URL or event, and so hopefully it didn't create 3 streams like it did last night. Hopefully it's just the same one stream. And again, thank you for bearing with us. Trying to get all those jitters out for GoFest. Awesome. So we had the Pidgeot. We swapped out to our Umbreon. They went into a Scrafty. That's not a great matchup for us here. It can do damage to us pretty well. We can't do much damage to it. We're gonna have to play this one pretty close to the vest and see how it goes. So our hope here is that really our Obstagoon is the key to this game for us. We cannot bring in Obstagoon against this Scrafty. That Obstagoon is going to have to do some work up against that Pidgeot for us. Now this Scrafty cannot do too much damage to our Toxicroak. Both sets of moves are going to be resisted. So we're going to just farm a little bit here, and then we're going to throw a Dynamic Punch. Hope that it lands and KOs. Then we'll throw the same Dynamic Punch up against the Pidgeot when it comes back in, and then we will go into our Obstagoon. So that's the play, and then we have to hope that whatever is in the back is weak to Obstagoon as well, or weak to Dark. And they shield, and we get to throw another one here. We are going to hope that they don't shield this, KO, and then we will be able to go into our Obstagoon. Okay, all right, well then. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that they would let one of those slide, but because they double shielded and they have several power-up punches in, we are not in the best of shape. So we will probably not pull this one off. I think they have a full Pokemon, and then they also have Pidgeot, which is pretty strong. We have shield advantage, but yeah, we do not have very much health to play with. And that's a GG. Good game to our opponent there. That Pidgeot, as you saw, best buddied and boost and perfect, so kudos to them for that. Awesome. So we are at 2247, and this will be the moment of truth. Are we going to hit the big red, or are we going to be able to continue? All right, there it is. So that was our maximum number of sets for the day. As you saw, we ended up a little bit higher, so we are at 2247 ELO. We started at 2233, so we all in all netted up, I would say, I think, what is that, 1 win? So we probably went 13-12 in the games that you saw, and we did a mix of Ultra League and Great Battle League. So we had fun. We ended up ahead of where we started. We tested out the stream, so I would say it was successful here and what we were setting out to accomplish. Again, thanks everyone for jumping on. Thanks for bearing with us on that technical difficulty. Please feel free to drop us any comments, any feedback, any things that you want to see on the channel or in general. As a reminder, if you're here and have been watching the channel, one of the things that I'll be posting here shortly is our Magikarp search series. We've been opening 1 pack a day from Paldea Evolved, looking for Magikarp. When we find Magikarp, we have a giveaway bounty that we are giving away to one lucky subscriber who's been commenting on our videos. So make sure you get entered there so that we can hopefully give that away. Other than that, we open a lot of different Pokemon cards. So if there's a set, if there's a product that you want to see, if you have questions about, hey, is this one worth it? Send them over. We'll get that opened up on the channel, and we'll let you see if it's worth it or not. But other than that, keep having a fun Pokemon adventure, and we will see you at GoFest this weekend. If there's anything that you want to see from there, drop a comment. If not, we will just stream and have some fun and hope to see you back. Anyways, have a great rest of your night, and again, appreciate you joining